Do you suck at Rust? If so, one of the reasons could be that you are not using the keybinds I'll show you in this video. From the simple zoom keybind that will allow you to spot enemies more easily, to some crazy console commands that will give you an advantage over other players. Here are 20 of the most essential Rust keybinds that will definitely improve your game. I guarantee you won't know all of this, even if you are a more experienced player. With that said, if you do find this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button below, subscribe to the channel and check out Rust Clash. Rust Clash is a platform in the Rust community, known for their case battles and a bunch of different game modes where you can face off against other players in intense PvP openings. They also have a bunch of different game modes like Tiles, Plinko, Mines, Crash and the classic Upgrader, each with their own style and pacing. Whether you're uncovering tiles, watching the multiplier climb, or chasing a 10,000x Plinko ball, there's always action. And now, let's get back to the video. First, let me show you 10 keybinds that you absolutely can't play without, whether you are a complete beginner or an experienced player. The first keybind will instantly boost your FPS a little and reduce stutters and lags by clearing the memory. Here's the command itself. To use it, you need to open the console by pressing the F1 button and paste it into this box. I leave all the commands and keybinds in the description below, so you can easily copy them. This keybind manually triggers a garbage collection cycle that will reduce performance stuttering, and you'll also get a pop-up notification to confirm that the command has been activated, which is really handy. By the way, if you want to use a different button, just replace it in the console. Next, we have the most essential keybind in the game. I'm talking about the hover loot. Just open the settings, type hover loot in the search bar, and change this button to one of the sides button on your mouse for maximum convenience. Now you can quickly loot the bodies with only a mouse, which will save you a lot of time. And if you hold down the Alt key and hover loot over the clothes, you'll instantly replace clothes in your inventory. Next, we have a really useful zoom keybind that will help you during PvPs. I suggest setting this keybind to the second side button on your mouse. For example, you have a hover loot on mouse 3. Then you need to set a zoom keybind on mouse 4. Just check your settings before using this keybind. Once you've picked the button and used the command, you'll have a perfect zoom keybind that will also remove the HUD while activated for better visibility. I can't even tell you how many times this keybind has helped me, so be sure to use it. Next, we've got a simple yet really essential keybind that will save you a lot of time. I suggest setting this bind to the most unused button on your keyboard, so you can't press it by accident. This command will let you quickly respawn on your sleeping bag or on a beach without having to open a console to type kill or open a menu to click this button. And this keybind is a must-have for all farmers and PvP chats. It will allow you to clear your inventory of wood, stone and metal by adding a bunch of different items in a crafting queue. This can make a huge difference in high-intensity fights when you don't have a lot of time to loot the bodies. You just grab what you can and spam 0 button to add as many items in a crafting queue as possible. That way, you can steal way more loot. And once you've moved to a safe distance, just right-click on the second item to move it up in the queue, and repeat it over and over again, until you get to your base. The next 2 keybinds will let you craft bandages or syringes by pressing just one button without opening the crafting menu. Again, this is insanely useful command that will help you in high-intensity fights, when you need to craft a bandage, but you don't have the time to open the crafting menu. All you need to do is just spam the H button, and you will craft a bandage. If you don't need bandages, you can set this button to craft syringes. It's totally up to you. Plus, you will get a pop-up notification that you crafted a bandage or syringe. In my opinion, this keybind is a game changer. Next, we have an Autorun and Autoswim Keybinds. The Autorun Keybind will allow you to go AFK, while your character in the game will run forward. All you need to do is just mark the spot on the map where you need to go. Then use a compass to align yourself with the marker and press the Y button to run forward. As you can see, you will get a pop-up notification that Autorun is activated. Now you can go AFK or do whatever you want. To cancel this command, just press the W button and you will stop running. And the same mechanic applies to Autoswim Keybind. The only difference is that on top of the sprint forward, like in the Autorun Keybind, your character will also jump. Now, when you go to the water and press the U key to activate the Autoswim, your character will swim to the place you want without drawing. And to cancel this command, press the W and space buttons. The last keybind in this section will let you switch the hand in which you hold the weapon. This will give you a huge advantage in two cases: if you use a crossbow with a fire arrow, or if you pick from behind the corner. In the first case, you will remove the fire effect, which will make it a lot easier to hit your enemy. In the second case, you can switch the weapon to the other hand before you pick, to see more of what's happening behind the corner. If you pick from the right, use a left hand, and if you pick from the left, use a right hand. That way, your weapon won't block the view when you pick. Now, let me show you 5 keybinds that will give you an unfair advantage over other players. The first keybind will change the object quality from 100 to 0. Not only will this boost your FPS, but it will also allow you to see through some textures around the map. For example, you'll be able to see through the ceiling in the supermarket, or through the vents on the oil rig. And if you change the object quality back to 100, you'll be able to see through the twig. Another useful keybind will change your draw distance from 2500 to 500. The main advantage that you will get from this is the ability to spot your enemies more easily in the distance, since you can remove the clutter. Plus, this will increase your FPS, which is always nice. Also, if you start spamming these 2 buttons, you'll sometimes be able to see through the water, especially if you have a bad PC. And if you need to spot something in the distance, for example, a cargo ship, you just need to press one button to see everything at a maximum distance. The next keybind will help you with EcoRaids. For example, you need to softside a wall or a foundation. Instead of holding down the left mouse button, you can just activate this keybind and go chill or watch some TikToks. As soon as your tool breaks, just grab another one and keep chilling. A perfect keybind that will make your life a lot easier. Next, we have a Combatlog Keybind. This simple command will allow you to see all the info about your enemy right during the fight. You can see the distance to your enemy, how many times you hit him, and how many HP he has left. You can bind this command to the F2 button, so you don't mess up your default console. In my opinion, this is one of the most useful keybinds in Rust. Next, we have a keybind that will change your lookout radius to make building your base a lot easier. For example, you need to upgrade the foundation or a wall behind the TC. If you have a default lookout radius, you can't do this. You need to go outside your base, and only then can you upgrade these building blocks. But if you use this simple keybind, you can easily do this from the inside, without risking losing your loot. And finally, I'll show you a few commands that will make your game more enjoyable to play. First, we have a command that will make your hands, weapons and tools smaller. This will allow you to see more of what's happening around you. Next, we have a command that makes you look back to the middle of the screen a lot quicker after using Alt. This can give you a small advantage in some situations. And the last command will show you all the info about your game by adding a metric system to the bottom left corner of your screen. Here you can see your FPS, latency, RAM usage, ping, garbage collector, and other info. After you test all these keybinds, you need to save the config by typing global.writeconfig into the console. And if you want to remove one of the keybinds, type this command into the console and type the key you want to unbind. If you know any other keybinds that can give you an advantage or make your life easier, please write about them in the comments below. Maybe I missed something. And if you want to know even more about Rust, then in this video I'll show you the best settings in Rust for PvP, high FPS, great image quality and low input latency.